What's going on? What's going on? You got the almighty DJ CJ Flash back with a brand new live episode of I Remember That Song. Here to tell you all about it is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Dove.
CJ Flash, Dominus,
Ominous.
Dominus, Ominous. That's a new move. Yeah. I put an R&B thing into a Christian thing, into a gospel thing. I like that. Dominus, Ominous. I like that.
That's what a black pope would do.
Yes, he would. He would. Dominus, Ominous.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
On, man. Right on. So how you feeling, my brother?
I'm fantastic. How you doing, brother?
I'm fantastic as well, but I'm trying to get better. You know what's going to help me?
What's that?
The show tonight that we're doing.
I love that.
I love it too. That's why we do it.
How you think, brother?
That's how we do it. Every Tuesday at 7:05 p.m. Pacific time, we are here with an episode. I Remember That Song, which is also IRTS Live. And we got a good one tonight. We're going to do, it's one of those things where it's kind of a double-edged deal where we're paying tribute to a brother that we lost, Mr. Walter Scott of the Whispers. And at the same time, we're paying a big tribute to the group that he was with for over 60 years, the Whispers. So it's going to be a celebration. It's going to be fun. It's going to be sad. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let's bring in a team that is slow moving, but they're getting here at some point. So first of all, D Minor is definitely here. What's up?
Hey, another day. Happy to be here with my guys. It's a Tuesday night.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Big Russ said he's going to be a little bit late.
All right.
Ryan Nicole is done with that magnificent run of her show.
Congratulations.
I don't know if she's going to make it tonight. She might need some rest. So I have to. We'll see if we get surprised. If not, we'll struggle through like we have in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You know.
Is that right?
We're doing.
That's what we're doing. Huh?
We're going to struggle through.
We have definitely missed her balance.
Yeah, man.
Balances all the male energy out.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So tonight, if you're watching us for the first time again, this is IRTS Live. We do this every Tuesday at 7:05. We're out of the Bay Area. Make sure you get into the chat and tell us where you're hitting us up from, like Stephanie Jackson did when she said she's from the Bay. Greetings, IRTS show from the Bay.
Hey, from the Bay.
Channel. That's my man Ron Ledford, who's back in
Hey, Ron.
Kim Batiste is hitting us up from Monterey.
So
we've covered 3 totally different parts of the globe already. And we're just getting started. So when you sign in, make sure again you put your name there, give YouTube permission to use your name, and tell us where you're from so we can acknowledge you and get some questions from your part of the world. All right. If you have not seen this show, make sure that you tell your friends and everything like that. You can catch us, like we said 3 times already, on YouTube every Tuesday night. Make sure you follow us at IRTS Space Show. IRTS Space Show. If you follow us, it's free. You get to see all the shows we've done in the past. You get to see the shows that are coming up in the future. In the past, I always like to say that we've talked to Eddie LaBerge from the OJs. We talked to Will Downing. We talked to Will's wife, Audrey. We talked to Layla Hathaway. We talked to Eric Robertson, Brian Culbertson, Guapale. We got so many people we've talked to, and we got more coming up. So tonight, we also have a good brother on with us tonight. His name is Wardell Potts Jr. And what he's done is he's let me put this up here first of all. See, this is why we need you, Ryan. This is why we need you. Because I'm trying to do 10 things at once when I can only do one. But this is why we need you, Ryan. So here we go, like this. We are going to talk about, like I said, the life of Walter Scott, who passed away on June 27th at the age of 81. He simply put, he was part of one of the greatest singing groups of all time, in my opinion. The Whispers from LA, California, scored big hits in the late 60s. That's how far back they go. And they're best known for their 2 #1 hits, And the Beat Goes On and Rock Steady. The Whispers have scored over 15 top 10 R&B singles and 8 top 10 R&B albums, with 2 of them, The Whispers and Love Is Where You Find It, reaching the #1 spot. They have earned 2 platinum and 5 gold albums. The Whispers are not to be played with, and a gentleman who has worked with them on a lot of this stuff is named Wardell Potts Jr. Let's bring Wardell in here and say hello. How you doing, my friend?
Hey.
How are you guys?
Fantastic.
How
are you?
just fine.
I am blessed and blessed.
Well, Wardell is a friend of D Minor who got him on with it. So Wardell, I take it you've done D Minor show?
Yes, but I do my own show as well. So
Okay,
I
okay.
so we just really kind of like, crossing lines, and so this is the way to do it. Network.
There you
Yeah,
go. So I
sure
always
enough.
like to tell people that D minor show is like 60 minutes. This show that you're on right now is like Entertainment Tonight. So
There you
we're not
go.
going to go into who was the third trombone player on the fifth song on Outside 2 of whatever album. Okay, we don't need all that.
There you go. There you
He
go.
wants that. We don't need that. We need the funny stories. All right. Let me talk about
Yeah.
you just a little bit, Wardell. You've been credited with 3 number one and many top 10 hits as one of Solar Records' core musicians. You're a drummer, composer, and a producer. You work with Dynasty and Shalimar, and of course, The Whispers. And among your best known creations was with The Whispers, Keep On Loving Me,
Oh, yeah, that's
which is
right.
one of my favorite songs by them. Me and my wife do little promos every week for the show. And Keep On Loving Me was part of that. So after the show is over, I'm to send it to you so we say glad you know.
Okay.
You've
Okay.
also worked with Leon Silvers, Evelyn King, Gladys Knight, Regina Bell, Jerry Knight, Atlantic Star, 5 Star, lots of stars and knights and kings in here. Douglas Johnson, Tyler Collins, Tracy Smith, Hugh Masekela, and a whole lot more, man. In other words, you got cred, bro.
Yeah,
Great.
yes, I've been really blessed to work with all these artists. And
Okay.
so I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
Okay, well, let's
All
start by
right.
talking about you and what you do. So you said we were with Solar Records. When did you start with them, and how did you get connected with them?
Okay, so I think it was as I was developing myself as an artist, I talked to a friend of mine by the name of Tony Westcott. He was playing drums for the Silvers, and so he used to live right behind one of my dad's gas stations. And so I heard this drummer, and so I was like, man, I gotta go see who this person is. So I went and knocked on his door. Finally, he came and he was like, hey. And I said, hey, I hear you practicing and stuff. I'm a drummer too, and I just wanted to introduce myself. And he says, oh, yeah, where you from? I said, well, it's my dad owns a gas station. He said, oh, Mr. Potts, yeah, come on in. And so I went downstairs and he showed me all his stuff. And so he said, why don't you play something? So I played, I'm a more of a jazz drummer. So I was playing my jazz stuff and he was playing his R&B. And I was like, man, you should show me that. I'll show you some jazz. You show me. He was like, yeah, let's do it, man. So anyway, I remember saying to him, I said, hey, listen, if ever, and that wasn't in this meeting, but one of our meetings. And I said to him, if ever somebody wants you to come and play for them, let me know and I'll go. And he was like, oh, okay, for sure. And so a year later, I was in college, and when I came home for spring break, I got a phone call from him saying, hey, Wardell, Leon's about to start a group called Dynasty, but man, I'm tired, man. I'm tired being on the road. I got to be with my family. He said, so you want to go? And I said, yes, yeah, I'll go. And he says, really? And he says, you're serious? I said, yes. And then my friend Terrence was in the background. He says, I told you would go. He said, so anyway, so I went out to California. I called Leon first, and he said, well, yeah, just come on out. And so I went out, and I auditioned for him, and so time went by like about maybe 3 weeks or so, and I was like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard anything from Leon. I don't know if I made the audition or not. She says, well, call him and tell him you're gonna, you need some money so you can survive. You don't know what's going on, so he needs to give you an answer. So I called him, and he says, oh yeah, of course you made it. You made the audition, yeah, for sure. I said, well, you never told me. So, and I said, so I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go home, and when you guys get ready, I'll come out and start rehearsing. He says, no, we can go in the studio and record with Shalimar. And so I said, oh, okay. Who? I didn't even know who Shalimar really was, because I think at that time they just had Take That to the Bank was out, and it was a California thing. I'm from Philly, so and plus I was into jazz. I didn't know anything about R&B. So anyway, so we went in the studio and we did second time around. That was a task. Ooh. And but I listened and learned, and I figured out what he wanted. And then while we were in a break, because Leon said, let's just take a break. I just need y'all to concentrate. When we can come back, we're gonna knock it out. So, but when we came back, Steve Shockley from Lakeside was exercising, and Leon's like, "What is that?" And he says, "Oh, it's just an exercise." And Leon said, "Just keep playing that for a second." And then Leon made up the bass line to "And the Beat Goes On" off of the exercise that Steve Shockley was playing.
Okay.
That's how Steve Shockley became a writer on the song.
Okay.
So the next week we went in the studio and recorded "And the Beat Goes On." This is the thing. We did not record it for the Whispers. We recorded for Myers, Philpott, and Woods. And so nobody knows who that is, but they were about to be very well known. And then when Leon played it for Dick Griffey, saying, this is my, my new group and stuff, and this is a song we did, and Dick was like, "Man, I really gotta have that for the Whispers." And Leon just started working, with Dick, on a producer's contract. So he was like, "What?" He said, I gotta have that for the Whispers, man. Can I have it, please? Let me have it for the Whispers. I just see them going, really, doing well with this. And so Leon says, "Okay, I guess so." So then that's how.
Okay, wait. Let me hold.
Go ahead.
Hold you right there. Okay, yeah. Let me hold you right there because you're dropping a lot of knowledge on us already. We're going to spread it out a little bit. First of all, let me acknowledge you as a drummer because we've had several drummers on the show. We had Dave Garibaldi from Tower Power.
Right.
With us. John Paris from Earth, Wind and Fire has been with us 3 times. Mm-hmm. And my other guy, Dennis Chambers has been with us too. So it's always interesting. The drummers seem like the catcher on a baseball team. Everything's in front of you guys, so you guys all got a different point of view of what's going on. So it's always good to hear.
Control the flow. That's what drummers do. Control the flow.
All right. So what we're going to do then is let CJ start his musical journey. You just chime in whenever you're ready, and we're going to wait for other folks to come in tonight. And let's go, CJ.
Just like my love, the last day. The beat goes on. Still moving strong. On and on. Do you ever wonder? Got to win, somebody's got to lose. I might as well get over. Just like fishing in the ocean, there'll always be someone new. You did me wrong, but I've been through stormy weather.
That is one of those R&B songs that's going to be around forever. When you do a top 100 R&B songs of all time, that's got to be in there. That gets the barbecue started. That gets the yacht ride started. That gets the garage started. Whatever you're doing, that's going to get you started, man. And you played on that one. Okay, now drop us another gem on that one then. Okay, so that's you on the drums. Mm-hmm. And so when you heard the Whispers, did you know what Dick Ripley meant when you said that he needed it for the Whispers? You said, "Oh yeah, okay, I see what he's talking about."
Well, when Leon just kind of told us, we were just kids, right? I was 21 years old. And so, and 20 or 21. And so we were just like, and this was all new for us. So we were excited, like, okay, well, whatever. And so when I found out that the song had already came out and it shot up started shooting up charts, I was like, what happened? I didn't even know what the charts was. I just knew I was just like, what? And all of a sudden was on every station. And so we had second time around, and the beat goes on back to back to back, and it was just playing the stuff, and Lakeside stuff was playing. I was like, this is great. And so don't forget, I'm still young. I'm a new kid on the block. Right. And I was just blown away, man. And I just said, praise God. And we were constantly in the studio Masters in Beverly Hills on Beverly Boulevard. And we were in that studio every day, all day. And we were just constantly writing. I mean, Leon was writing. I wasn't writing yet. I was just playing drums and just recording with them. And man, it was an experience that I would never give up in my life. That was something that I really feel blessed with.
Wow. I got a question for you, Wardell.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So on the intro of And the Beat Goes On, you chose to play 16th notes on the hi-hat. Then
Yes.
when you came up to the chorus and the verse, you switched over to eighth notes. What made
Yes.
you decide to do that?
Well, it was when we were practicing the groove, right?
Mhm.
I was playing an eighth. So we were just going down. So I was playing an eighth the whole time.
Mhm.
And but that also that eighth was my timer.
Sure.
It's my click,
Mhm.
right? That was my natural click. Just that hearing that,
Yeah.
right? So we're playing it, and so then when we decided to do the intro,
Mhm.
then Leon says, "Do something else. Do something, play something else. If whatever but don't play the snare yet." And so without playing the snare, I decided, okay, I'm up, just play both the hands. I'm gonna use both hands, and so I just came in, blah, then.
Mhm.
So I kept myself busy that way.
Okay.
I kept that snare hand busy by having it going. And I wasn't thinking of anything. I wish, because sometimes like I think about that and I'm wondering if other people can hear that. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Ears on your part.
It's as a DJ and a drummer, it sets the whole tempo for the song.
Wow.
It sets the whole excitement for the song. The song is
Yeah.
exciting and from block. It says it's going somewhere, and then you guys kind of break it down with the eighth notes. But I guess the average listener wouldn't necessarily pick it up, but dancers know what that feels like. So
All right, there you go.
for dancers and that kind of thing. It's good stuff.
That's good, man. That's good. That's a good
That's
air
a
right
good
there.
question. That's a good question, CJ.
Thank you.
That was a 60 minutes question.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, hold on one second, fellas. I see Russell down there, but my machine is not allowing me to bring him in here. All right, so let's Russ, I see you. I'm working on it. Hang on.
We're all working on
We're
it.
watching IRTS Live. We got some gremlins coming in tonight, so we see if we can shoo them away and keep the music going. Flash, keep going.
I got to throw this curveball out there.
We sing this way all day. Each heart into so nice that way. And harmony, sweet melody. Just you and me together we'll be in love forever. Oh, it's so mellow, baby. Oh, it's so mellow, baby. We never love, don't need no job. Together we'll make it, we won't stop. Love and passion is our creed. Caring for each other's needs. In love forever. Ooh, it's got to be mellow, baby. Oh, it's so mellow.
All right.
In love forever.
Of course, D minor knows that song. Explain your curveball there, sir.
We talked about, Mr. Wardell talked about him playing jazz and from the jazz background. I don't know if you played on that song, but this song makes me think of, you didn't? Okay.
No. What year was that?
Oh, this
74.
74,
Yeah, I was
so before you got there.
I was still in high school.
Okay. But you were playing jazz at that time, and this has that feel to me. And this reminds me of what you were talking about. That's part of the reason for the curveball. But you never really get to hear this song, In Love Forever by the Whispers.
Yeah, I never heard that song ever. So
really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. But they were doing their thing way before we came. I mean, their career was like almost over. You wouldn't think they would start all over and start having new hits from the Leon Silvers and stuff. You wouldn't think that would happen, but it did happen for them, and that's what a blessing that is, man.
Yeah.
But I want to also let you know that And the Beat Goes On is also the same song that Will Smith took.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that song is huge as well. I'm Going to Miami.
Right.
And so and he just did, all he used was the drums, the bass, and Ricky's Freeze on the synthesizer.
Wow.
And he rapped over top of that. I was like, dude, this is great. And so thank you. I got a plaque over there, from him as well. So I'm very grateful,
Nice.
man, for all of the opportunities and the gifts and stuff that we've gotten throughout the years.
Okay, let me do this real quick, Russ.
Okay.
Russ, try to go out and come back in because it's not letting me bring you in right now. So let's see if that works. And then since we are from the Bay Area, we got to ask you about your name, Wardell, because our guy Wardell, Stephen Curry.
Oh,
That's his name. So.
right. Hey, trust
Yeah.
me, I know because I talk about it all the time. I go,
Yeah.
his name is really Wardell.
Yeah.
And so and people are like, what are you talking about? I said, look at his dad. His dad's name is Wardell too. But they
Yes.
just go by Step. I don't know why. And
Mhm.
so, but on all of his, like the professional writings, it says Wardell. And I
Right.
was like, dude. And so I've been trying to get with him to say, I'm Wardell also, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed of your name.
Mm.
But that's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Duff.
No, I'm still trying to get Russell in here.
Oh, okay. You know, we were talking about with the jazz and Wardell, you being a jazz drummer and a lover of jazz. The Whispers also too were big on jazz, coming from their father, and obviously with the scatting and everything like that, and then in Love Forever really showcase their jazzier side of things, and obviously it undertoned a lot of what they were doing, especially when you and Leon and everybody else had joined the Whispers in '79. And I have to ask, were there ever conversations with you and Walter and Scotty about jazz and their love for it?
No, we didn't talk about. I can't remember because we talked about so much stuff. We had so much history together. We were on the road together. We traveled around the world together. And so, but I think Walter and I were actually we were closer than Scotty and I was.
Okay.
And so, and that wasn't set up for any. It was just the way it was because Walter was more athletic oriented, like I
Okay.
was. So I'm a gymnast as well. So I'm from that whole gymnastics and track running and all that kind of stuff. And and Walter was a tennis player. And so Walter and I used to get together. Soon as we found that hotel that had a tennis court, he would be calling me or I'll be calling him. What else is there tennis? Let's go play. I'm like, okay, I'm there. And we played all the time, man. We played all the time. And so,
Yeah.
but I want to tell you guys a story if I have a chance.
Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this is the funny thing. Like when we did the Solar Galaxy of Stars tour, oh God. So we're on tour, right? And I'm excited because I get to see Dick Griffey, the great late Dick Griffey. God bless you. Rest in peace, my brother. Get to see him be so excited about his first tour. Like this is it. We are, and he's so happy. He comes on the side of the stage, but he's ashy. I'm
Wow.
I'm looking at him like, what? Where's your lotion? What's going on? But his buddy, who is the promoter, is ashy too. I'm like,
man.
Both of these guys are ashy, but they didn't care, man. They were rich, right? They had money, I guess, and they were just living their life. And so, but they were on the side of the stage betting on me. They were betting on me. And so this is what Walter told me, Wardell and Scotty. It was like, Wardell, we're betting. They were betting on you. Every time you go on the stage with Shalimar, because this is when I was on stage. I was on stage with Dynasty. Then we would go off stage and Lakeside would come on and do their show. And then I would go back and change at the end of Lakeside show and come back on the stage with Shalimar. And so, but with Shalimar, I played Pakungas just to help keep the timing. I was playing the congas and the cowbell just to help keep the timing. And so, but I was jumping from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, and so they would bet when I was going to stop, and I was like, "What?" He says, "Yes, we were bet," and I said, "Are you serious?" He says, "Yeah, taking them all. We all were betting. They were gambling on you." I said, "Oh, and I don't get nothing." Yeah,
Wow.
you know. And so these guys, I didn't know that this was happening, and they would be over there slapping fives up when I stopped and everything. And I said, I had no idea what was happening until they told me. I was like, man, this is crazy. Dick's always hustling, man. He was always hustling. So
back to that ashy thing, man. What's up with that? What's up with that?
So we were down in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did that first, big concert away from LA, we went to New Orleans, and it was just whoa, it was crazy, and it was big in Texas too, but it was just that was more cowboyish. We were in a stadium, and everybody but and now I live in Texas. I can't believe it. But anyway, but
are you ashy? Put your hands up. Let me see hands.
He ain't ashy.
No, I'm not ashy.
You know better.
Okay, all right.
But I was yesterday when I went to the doctor. I said, I forgot to put lotion. I'm so sorry.
If you didn't tell us, we wouldn't have known, man.
I gotta keep it real. But we were in New Orleans, and so we were right on the ocean, and so it was, those guys were just out having a great time while we were doing sound check and all that kind of stuff, and they would come in, man, any kind of way. And then after the show, we would go over to clubs and stuff, and we do autographs and everything, and they come in the same way. Ash, come on in. Just come.
You would think that humidity alone would keep them a little bit.
I know.
Moist or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were some ashy dudes, man. But that was the way. That was their thing, man. So
we've been doing this show about 5 years now, and this is the first time that a person's ashiness has come out. Never mind the fact that you're talking about Dick Griffey and somebody. So thank you for that, Rodell.
Funny.
Flash, keep that music going.
I had to share it.
I appreciate you.
Woo!
Don't choose too fast. You can't judge a book by its cover. Make sure that what you see is what you get, and read between the lines. Don't waste too much faith in someone else's reputation. Watch closely, they might be just a shadow of the person they're supposed to be. Just can't fake it.
Yes.
In the raw. Now let me ask you this really quick, Wardell. How long did it take before you could tell the two twins apart?
Okay, this is bad. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Tell us
Scotty.
now. Looking at this picture, tell us now.
All right, I just looked at Scotty's stomach. I knew it was Scotty.
Wait a minute. What?
Scotty always had the big stomach, and Walter was slim. Don't forget, Walter was playing, so Scotty had the big belly. So it was. It didn't bother him. Didn't bother no. It was just what it was. So that's how.
So you didn't talk about somebody being ashy, somebody being heavy. I'm afraid to let you off this show. I'm not leaving this show until you're done. You're not gonna be talking about me, man.
let me just tell you something else. I want to volunteer something
Okay.
real quick. So
Hold on.
that
Hold on.
all right, I'm holding. Oh,
I'm talking about us. Yeah.
yeah. So that song right there in the raw, that song was a song that I got so much props from my friends in Philadelphia. Whoa, man. And there's some bad drummers in Philadelphia. The musicianship, because it's so cold, that's all you did. It was practice, right? That's all. I mean, everybody is just so Stanley Clark, all those guys. They just practice because it's too cold to do anything else. And the winter lasts for nine months. So you
Wow.
just got
Damn.
this. Yeah, it's freaking snowing and stuff, and at the end of April, I said, "Mom, it's snowing." She goes, "Yeah, it's snowing, baby." I go, "Oh." So that's why I left Philadelphia. I couldn't wait to get out of there. And once I got out of there, once I went to California, that was it. I stayed for 45 years.
I heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man, I
Nice.
couldn't go back to Philly. No.
All
They,
right,
and
so
they,
when you work with the Whispers, okay, there I was asking CJ before the show started. I said, "How are we gonna do?" We said, "Are we gonna do like an album, like one side all their slow jams, and then one side all their up tempo jams?" Because they started out as a slow jams group for the most part, right? And then they just really
right,
got once they started
Yeah.
working with you and you guys over at Solars when they got all that up tempo stuff going, right?
right.
What do
So
you
so
think? What
we
do you think they was best for? I loved all their music. So what worked best for you, or what did you like to hear from your guys with the
uh
Whispers?
I loved all their stuff. So
Hmm.
it wasn't really I mean, like Lady, I mean, that song was amazing. I loved all their stuff. I love their ballads. Um but the up tempo stuff, we did all the up tempo stuff starting in
Yeah.
79. And they had a couple, like Jerry Knight came in and he did
Tonight.
yeah, exactly. And so we had a couple of different people trying and doing other stuff, but we did like most of the singles. So it was so much fun just doing just we had the fun part of it. The ballads, man, that's complicated, and you really got to be playing your stuff, and but when we are playing those up tempos, it's a different kind of pocket, and so we locked that in. We somehow found the magic that the people like, and we just stayed right with that, with all the groups, with everything we did. We found that magic in that pocket, and we locked it, and we stayed to that until the very end. And then at the very end, when Leon started, using the drum machine and bringing other people in, we were all starting to scatter. And like in 80, 85, 86, everybody was
Hmm.
starting to scatter, and William Shelby went to another company, and everybody's leaving and going places. Everything started changing. But in the beginning, there was that pocket, that was that sound. So like I said, I loved all their stuff. Yeah, yes. Even their
Now when it
Christmas stuff.
oh yeah, the Christmas stuff. Now when it came to um who would sing what, as far as out of the twins, was it Walter or Scotty that did the singing for you all?
Well, Scotty did most of the lead, and
Okay.
but Walter had his stuff too. But Scotty
Okay.
was the main lead vocalist, and uh,
Okay.
and then on stage, both of them, they simultaneously, and you couldn't tell one from another.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say for the people who still don't know which one is which, if you're looking at the stage with the Whispers, Scotty was always on the right, and
Yes,
Walter was on the left,
right.
right?
And that's yes, exactly. And
And
but that's
in
how.
other words, just look at the stomach.
Well, see, well, can you tell from this picture though?
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, the one that's at top, the one that's Walter on top, and that's Scotty
Yeah,
at the bottom.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And
All
so,
right.
so just in all fairness to my brothers, I feel like with Scotty, my heart goes out to him because they've been together for 81 years together.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
81 years, professionally 60 something years. So how do you
Right.
I just that separation right there, man, it's just like whoa.
Yeah.
I just pray that Scotty can wake up and be okay every
Mhm.
time he wakes up, and when he goes to bed at night, I know he's thinking about his brother. And
Yeah.
oh, dude, that is just so
Yeah.
hard. It's
Yeah, we
hard, but
lost.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was
rest in peace.
I think the only separation that they ever had, other than now, was when Walter went to Vietnam, and
Yeah.
and as a matter of fact, so they couldn't. You can't draft twins. So
Mhm.
so Scotty is 2 minutes older than Scotty. Walter is 2 minutes older than Scotty,
Mhm.
and when we had him on the show on Let's Talk Music, he was. I don't think he saw a comeback, but I believe he was involved with I forgot what it was, but he was doing sound or something like that. I can't
Mhm.
remember, but he was talking about how he was doing sound and things like that, or dispatching. But
Communications.
yeah, communications. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was something
Mhm.
to that effect, but I don't think he saw a lot of combat.
Okay.
Oh, well, praise God. Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah.
But he got
Hey,
a
you're
lot of
watching
combat on that stage. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I'd like to tell people you're watching IRTS Live. We do this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific. Tonight, our guest is Mr. Wardell Potts Jr. Not Wardell Stephen Curry, nothing like that. Wardell Potts Jr.,
You can
who
okay,
was
you can
was
call me that. You
a
can
long.
I'm gonna have to borrow that
You said you
borrow
played
his
tennis. You didn't say you hoop, man. You said you played tennis,
no,
man.
I
So,
play hoops. I play hoops, dude. But I used to. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
okay.
Hold on. Easy, Turbo. Easy
Yeah,
Turbo.
my my knees are
Your
tore up
comparison
now.
to Steph might end with your name, man. Now stop it. Come on. Move.
Boy.
Oh, wow.
But you're watching us. If you catch the show right now, there's 4.5 of us that are on. Trust me, Russell is in the background. The gremlins aren't allowing me to get him on here yet, but he did want to join in the chat. He wanted to make sure we shout out Reggie Rugley.
Yes,
He's
Reggie.
from San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yes.
Went to high school, who later became a key member of the Whispers,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he passed away before COVID. So Reggie, rest in peace to him too.
Reggie was a good brother, man, and he did the keyboard tech for them, and I think he played keyboards for them as well. And he was just a really good cat. And when they weren't touring, he worked at the Guitar Center, so he would always get us deals and that kind of thing. It was really good brother, man. Really, we miss him.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, our man DJ CJ Flash is taking us on a musical journey. D Minor is here. I'm G Dove. And trust me, Russell is in the green room. We're getting your chat. So keep it going, CJ, and keep involved, Russell, and let's keep going.
Still feels right. Must be sad in the way. A stubborn kind of fella needs love every day. Just go love me. Just go love me.
Love that video. Love that video. The way they're strutting around. Get the newspaper under their arm, just strutting off through the park and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then one of the most famous lines from them songs when he's saying, Walter saying, "Hey, Scotty."
Yeah.
What's that? What's that mean? Oh man, that's a great song.
So let me just explain. So you know the story behind that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Scotty didn't want to do it. Scotty did not. He told the other brothers, he says, "Man, I'm not doing it. That's corny." I said, "Come on, Scotty."
What was corny about that? The shouting him out, you mean?
Yeah. Hey, Scotty. Yeah, what's that mean?
Okay.
Leon's trying to tell him this is what I need you to do, and he was like, "I'm not doing that, man. That's corny. I am not doing it." And he walked out the studio, man.
Whoa.
He's like, "I'm not doing it." And then and so Lavelle was like, "Dude." Okay, so Lavelle and Scotty are like two. They are really, really close. As a matter of fact, Scotty got Lavelle in the group. That's how close
That's
they
right.
were. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
They are really, really close. And so Scotty, so Lavelle said, "Listen, Scotty. I mean, I hear what you're saying, man. I know, but remember, this is Leon Silvers, and like they've already cut down a few things that like they didn't want to do. It's a love thing." Because they thought it sounded like the Chinese song. We're not doing the Chinese song. Da, da, da. You know how it starts off.
Hmm.
We're not doing no Chinese song.
Hmm.
And Dick was like, "You guys are doing this song."
Never even crossed my mind. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
It's a Chinese song. And so the bell is trying to tell Scotty, listen, Scotty, this is Leon Silvers, man. We already had some issues and stuff. So let's just do it and just do the part, and then we could be done with it. And if Dick says it stays, it stays and stuff. And so Leon's like, yeah, I mean, let's just do it. And then I'll play both mixes for him. I'll play a mix with it and mix without it and see which one he likes. But if it lays, it stays. That was Leon's expression. If it lays, it stays. And so he did it. And so when he played it for Dick, Dick was like, "That's it right there. It was staying." So I was really blessed because I am the only musician on that song.
Hmm.
I played every instrument on that song.
Okay.
But I got to tell you this: Leon played that plucking bass part. This really was. He would put the bass part on the song for the guitar player. So he's playing it really high. Bum, 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 and it sounds so good that we was just like, man, you got to. I said, Lee, you got to keep this. So it's just him and I in the studio when we cut the song, and so he's like, okay, that's it. So he's playing the parts. I punched him in, and it was great. And so I was so happy with the track. I forgot all about the vocals. When I heard the vocals, I almost passed out, man. I was like,
he brought it home.
It's all the way there, man. So thank you,
The
Leon Silvers. Thank you, Leon Silvers, for having that vision, man. He has that vision that producers have. He got it. He's one of those cats that just got it. He got it like that. Yeah, so praise God.
Great.
When he told me, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When he said to me, I said, Leon, I want to write songs. And he says, well, get a keyboard. And so I was like, get a keyboard? Okay. And so I went and bought a keyboard, little Casio keyboard, and I started doing stuff. But at this point, Leon and I were roommates. And so I was like, hey, Leon, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I was kind of embarrassed to ask him because here he is, Leon Silvers. I'm just figuring this out. And he goes, yeah, bring that to the studio. Bring this to the studio. And so for him to do all this and make my songs into hits, because I wasn't a producer. I was just a drummer that wanted to write songs. And he said, get the keyboard. And I started playing out my stuff and figuring out how to do it on the keyboard. And he just said, bring it in there, and started producing me on it was like real time, like we on the job training. Like, this is it. You do that, you play that part. Okay, now I'm gonna play this part. And now we'll play that part. And I played all the parts. And it stayed. And I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so I learned how to produce through him, watching him teach me. And it was a good job. It was a good training lesson for me.
Wow.
Just So.
D-Mike and I were having a long conversation last night, as he is wont to do if he ever gets you on the phone. And just to make it short, we were talking about the difference between being somebody's boss and managing somebody.
Yeah.
And so if you manage people, it's that old biblical thing about teach somebody how to fish, they'll eat forever. Show somebody how to fish, they'll people on something. You know, y'all know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? You know what I'm saying? I see you laughing, Russ. I see you laughing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
No,
shame
listen.
on you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Right.
so Leon
person how to fish,
teaching you and showing you how to do it and what he was thinking probably helped you more than anybody could ever say, okay, this is how you do it. Now go in there and try it.
Right.
So he just like,
Yes. I said to him, I want to produce too. And before I knew it, he
you were
threw me in the
producing.
studio.
Yeah.
He threw me in the studio with Glenn Jones. I go, hold on, wait. You want me to produce what? He says,
Wow.
I want you and Ricky to produce Glenn Jones. I
Mhm.
said, you what? And I'm looking at him with my eyes all cockeyed, like, you want me and Rick? But just make sure you're saying me, Wardell Potts Jr. You want me to produce Glenn Jones and Ricky? He says, yep. I said, okay, I guess he just took me and threw me in the water, man.
Wow.
And threw me in the water. He said, you want to
Yeah.
swim? Here you go. And so next thing you know, we produced Glenn's record.
I am somebody.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So Leon was really good at paying attention. Well, I was his roommate, so it was kind of hard to ignore me because I was all over the place.
So, question I have for you again. This is a drummer question. On that particular song that we just played,
in the raw.
Separate. Right. This no, not in the raw. The song that I just
Keep
played.
on loving me.
Yeah, keep on loving me. Right. So the separation of the drums, and you could hear it really clearly. The toms, left and right, and then the claps. So first part of the question is, and I know Leon was a genius for this. The drum separation, was that his idea, your idea, or collaboration of? Second part of that is, how does he obtain that clap sound? Because I know they weren't drum machine claps; they sound too real.
So I'm gonna answer the second question first.
Okay.
The septic claps. We opened up the bathroom doors in Studio Masters. There's two bathrooms. There's a girl's bathroom right there and the guy's bathroom right across the hall. And we opened up the bathroom doors all the way. Then we took the microphone, put the microphone in the middle of the hallway, and then once we did that, we all surrounded the microphone, like 6 of us surrounded the microphone. And so you got the engineer is the only one in the studio. Everybody else is there. They got a part, and you got to clap, and you got to clap on time. And so, one, here we go, and it starts. You know, you hear my drumsticks go kick, 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 and then here we go, and everybody just start clapping, and we clapped all the way down. And every once in a while, somebody, mess up, and you have to like, hold on, wait, we got to fix that. And we'll back up. He said, okay, punch us in somewhere, but just get us in. And so we just start clapping again, and the guy punches in, and we go all the way down. And so then he would do it again. We'd do another track, same thing. Do it again, same thing, all the way down. And so then he would take those tracks and combine them and make it as big as possible.
Wow.
And so that's how that part came. Now with drums, as far as separation, I'm kind of a little confused with the question, but do you need me to explain the separation now since I explained the clapping part?
Well, you can explain it however I mean, in other words, if you put on the headphones, which I have on, you can hear the separation of the drums, and to be a little bit more clear, the separation of the drums based on him looking at the drummer, or the separation of the drums based on the person behind the kit. So if I'm looking at you as the drummer, in my ears, am I hearing left to right as you go around the kit, or am I hearing right to left?
I had no idea.
CJ Flash and went all D minor on you. I said, he went all D minor on you.
I had no idea what somebody else is hearing in their headset.
Okay.
All I know is what's happening in my headset.
Okay.
And my headset, everything is stereo. And so I don't, you know, like every once in a while, I could get a little. And if we have two guitar players, I'll say, "Can you put Steve Shockley in my right ear and put Richard Randolph in my left ear?" And so, then that way it kind of gives me balance. Not,
Right.
not
Okay.
not because I like one or the other better.
Mhm.
It's just I need balance
Sure.
because
Yeah.
I'm driving that train and I need balance. I need to make sure that I drive it all the way to the end. And so it's a hell of a job being a drummer, but
Yeah.
it's a blessing at the end of the day. It is a true blessing.
Yeah.
I you know, and I thank my grandfather for blessing me and let me play at his church. That was the
Oh,
Yeah.
first
wow.
place I got to play.
Nice.
Thank you,
Now,
granddaddy.
yeah. Thank you to
Yeah.
granddad
Yeah.
Potts. You know, salute.
Yeah,
Um,
yep, yep.
now it was rumored. Now this was a rumor that was said that when Prince had fired Terry and Jimmy, and I know they were moonlighting over there with you all, especially on that Dynasty album, the last one that
Right.
before Leon had left. Now Prince for a while he kind of blamed Terry and Jimmy. He said he thought for a while that they actually produced "Keep on Loving Me" for the Whispers.
Mm.
What?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that never happened at all. That because this is how it happened. This is how it actually went down. Leon said, "Well, just bring it over to the studio. We'll go through it. And we'll figure it out." And I went to our rehearsal hall. Was upstairs on Sunset Boulevard, and Western. And we had a studio. The studio is called Western. And so we're
Mm-hmm.
there. And so I'm going through it and I'm practicing and stuff. And so I said, "Leon, I got a bridge to it. Check it out." And I played him the bridge. He's like, "Oh yeah, let's go downstairs and record that now. Let's just go downstairs and record it now." So we went right downstairs from me playing him the bridge to recording the track. Done. There was no Jimmy Jam and Taylor Lewis anywhere around. I love those guys and I'm proud of them, but they had nothing to do with that song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
it lays, it stays.
That's right. That's Leon saying, "If it lays, it stays, baby."
Yeah. All
So
right.
when the Whispers work with Babyface, and did you do anything with them, or that just strictly a Babyface thing?
No, that was Babyface's production, and him and they did their thing, the way that they did it. I wish I would have played on that dang song, but yeah, that was just they had their drum machine going. You know, that's when what's his name, Bobby Brown had his thing out, and they had that drum beat going, and so he's like, "We just gonna take that right on over here to this," and so. Yeah, so that's what that was about.
Well,
They kept that
Babyface got
fit.
some training at Solar too, didn't he?
Definitely.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So he came through Solar through Midnight Star. They signed. They were the ones that bought the deal in to Solar, and so Dick Griffey didn't know that he had a Babyface and a LA in the crowd there, and so that was just a great bonus for him. But when he bought them in, he just bought them in as the deal. And that was Midnight Star that brought them in as the deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big fan of Babyface. Big fan of Babyface. You're watching IRTS Live. We're saluting the Whispers tonight. We got a Whispers expert with us here, Wardell Potts Jr. D Minor is here. CJ Flash is there. I'm G Dove. And trust me, Russell Gatewood is in the green room. So he also wanted me to mention one other thing here. I don't quite know what this means, though. Aero, Fonte, and Zoe. Anybody know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. What's
Arrow, that's Ero. That's Air Robeson.
Okay.
Fonte and Zoe.
Okay. So
now I don't know what it's in reference to, but that's who that is.
I think it's with that song that we were playing, but we'll get it from him in a minute. In the meantime, keep that music going.
I like the way you make love to my mind. The things you say are always right on time. You brighten up my day with your sunshine. Now I feel the friendship growing. Each day it's growing and growing. I can't wait till we'll be going
To Lane.
It's a great song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it.
Did you go on the road with the guys too?
Did I go on the road with who?
The Whispers? Were you on the road all the time with them as well?
Well, not all the time. Only when Dynasty was there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. I went on the road with Shalimar separately though, because I was playing with both groups.
Okay.
So you know about
Yeah.
Shalimar. So what's really going on with Jody and Howard and them, man?
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I don't want to.
yeah.
This is not a gossip show. This is not a gossip show.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
have to
but
answer that.
Just to be, I mean, I'll just say a little bit about it. It's just
Howard
it's a
was
set-
ashy. Howard was ashy. I know. And Jody said, "I'm not having it no more." I got you.
That's right. Because he was ashy in his response to her when he got angry, and his words were ashy, and so because of that, she was like, "That's it. I'm done. It's over. Will never perform with you again." And so she kind of kept that for a long time.
I respect that.
And then and I do too. And so and she has the right to feel the way she feels, right?
Mhm.
You can't tell someone they can't feel. That's wrong. So
That's right.
that's how she felt. And a lot of people thought, okay, when they came together and they did that thing with Babyface and them, they thought, oh, they're gonna get back together. And so Jody really didn't want to sing that song with Howard and them, but she just kind of went along because they were talking about maybe we could do. Babyface was going to sign them to do a deal, and so she just kind of went along, and then she was like, "No, I'm not. I just can't do it." So after that was done, it was over. She just because she felt what she felt, and she couldn't. Even if she was thinking about bypassing it, her feelings were still what they felt, and so that's the way that went down. And Howard was like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know why she's acting. But the thing that it's just a sad situation. That they could not like finish it out together. And no,
Yeah.
don't tell. I mean, they're still here. They're still
Oh, yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
Anything is possible. But at this point, I just don't see it happen. Jeffrey's
Nothing but respect.
Yeah, Jeffrey Daniels, he's down to do it. He's like, he don't understand. He's like, what the heck? Come on, let's just do this. Let's make our money. So Jeffrey would be down to do it. It's just getting Jody, she's the one that's holding the cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. God bless her though. God bless her.
Yes, indeed. All right, Flash, let's get that good music going from the Whispers. Let's go.
I love you because you understand my way. I love you. You know just what to say to me when I'm in your arms, sweet lady. The joys of love create a new and special world. I love you. Won't you by my side forever? I love you. Sharing our precious love together. I love you. Said I want you by
It's time.
Wow. What year was that?
That's on the Whispers album. That's on that same album with And the Beat Goes On.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I never heard that one. I never heard that.
Now that's Walter. That's Walter
Wow.
singing.
Wow, that's so such a beautiful. Their whole vibe. It was just so soft and gentle, and I mean that was. I mean, they could seduce girls very easily, man, with with that kind of music and I love you. Like what? I mean, they were just. Oh man, they were players, man. Not that's just figuratively speaking. I mean,
Okay,
not
I'm like Wardell.
I don't trust you.
Wardell Potts Jr. You better stop it.
I'm gonna tell Steph on you.
Wardell Hennessy Alizé Cognac Potts Jr.
Please tell Steph. Please tell Steph. Lord. Oh man. So
I like to ask everybody that comes on the show, you know, when there's a certain song that you do, did you know it was going to be a hit? Let's say they did a song that was a huge hit, any one of these songs that we're playing tonight. Did you know in the studio, yeah, that one's a hit?
So after we got it done, or
while you were doing it, you said, okay, yeah, this is going to be a hit.
Okay, because like some of them, like my song "Keep On Loving Me," I just loved the track, but when I heard the vocals, it really like, whoa, that's something right there.
That's going to be a hit.
Yeah. And still when I hear it, like when I go to their concerts and stuff, and I hear them doing the sound check and stuff, I go, oh, gee, man, these guys, this is great. But In the Raw was one of my favorite songs to record. But I got to tell you,
I love that song.
Oh my God, Love and I Can Make It Better.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that song, Leon and I locked that bass drum and that kick drum together, and it was when I understood what Leon was saying to me when he said pocket. When he was saying pocket, because when we did And the Beat Goes On, and he was okay, pocket, I need pocket, I didn't know what he was talking about. And I was like, okay, here we go again. And I would count it off him. I had no idea what he was talking about with pocket. But when we did that song, whoo, I could feel it, man. I felt that. It was just like, by that time, I had developed myself. And I knew this is what he wants from me. And I'm giving it to him 100%. So that was, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Wardell. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. If it what?
If it lays, it stays.
Why you sound like Leon?
if it lays, it stays. That's right. That's right, man. So, but it was an incredible time for me, and I truly, honestly, have to give Solar, that's why I named my radio show Solar Records Radio, because I just want them to be honored. I want them to know that they gave me a career, and and they blessed me with that opportunity. And so I just want to say thank you, and I want other people to know about what they did. And this is Leon Silver, this is Dick Griffey, this is this person, that person, The Whisper, Shalimar, Lakeside Dynasty, The Deal, Climax. I just want them to know all these different groups and stuff that really, really had it going on. Who's that waving?
Oh, that's me. That's D-Money. I'm doing the Arsenio.
So I really wanted to make sure that happened, and that's why I do it.
Well, tell them where they can hear your show.
StreamYard.
That's what we're on right now. Although StreamYard's not helping me tonight, but when does your show come on? I'm writing it down.
My show comes on 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday. Sorry, Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay, so you can't hear it on StreamYard. Where do you hear it on YouTube or where?
YouTube, Facebook.
Okay, that's Solar Records Radio. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Tuesday through Saturday, 3 p.m. your time. It'd be 1 p.m. our time.
Yeah. So I'm just, I'm a new kid on the block. I'm just getting going and stuff. Jay King is the one that set me up.
Okay.
And so hats off to him for helping me get going.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Flash. Keep surprising us, man.
Oh,
I can make it better for you. All day and all night. Say love, I can make it better for you.
whoa.
Those tears from your eyes, don't you worry. Girl, I know just what you've been through. I understand this love has been spread. You think too much, you keep a woman like you. I just wanna say love, and I can make it better for you. All day and all night.
Whoa, yes.
Hey, I can make it better for you.
I love it when the artists and the producers hear it again and they love it just as much as the first time, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh man, and that's so true. That is so true for me right now. When you just brought it in, it was like, oh yes, I remember that. I remember that. It's those feelings that you just brought my feelings back, man. That's so good. Thank you. And that's what music. That's what it does to us anyway,
Yep.
right?
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh man.
Man.
Thank you guys for having me on. This is
Oh,
really
man.
a blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. Just a few more minutes with you because we like to do this, like I said, every Tuesday night. So now that you're part of the family, you get to
Yes.
join and follow us and hit subscribe. It's free. I'll follow you if you follow me. It's free. Yours is free. Yours is free too, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, okay,
That's
I'll follow
right.
you then. So,
It's
hey, he's being honest, right? I'm being honest. I'm talking about ashy. I'm talking about saving money, man. That's all I'm trying to do.
ashy.
So you talking about ashy? Never heard that before.
Uh,
But somebody gonna get in trouble, man.
Somebody gonna get in trouble. I know
Somebody's
it.
gonna get a lotion deal out of it. How about that?
Oh,
How about
yeah.
Lotion sponsorship.
Well,
No.
there's some baby oil that's floating around there somewhere.
Oh,
Jerky.
we don't want.
Ding.
We don't want.
Baby oil.
Well, we're done with baby oil. Whoa,
Yeah,
boy.
well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you guys
shoot.
know that the Whispers are one of those groups, one of those artists that, as long as their career has been as successful as their career been, they're one of those groups that never won a Grammy.
Wow.
Like Diana Ross, like Jeffrey Osborne, Charlie Wilson, never won a Grammy.
Never won a Grammy.
The
Yeah.
Whispers never
Oh.
won a Grammy. Now they did win Soul Train Awards, NAACP Awards, and they're in the Soul Train Hall of Fame. And then 2014, they were inducted into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
as they should be. But they never won a Grammy. How about that?
Wow.
Took
I
Marvin
think,
Gaye 30 years to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, was he alive when he won it?
Who? Marvin? Yeah, he won
Yeah,
a
for sexual healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the time when Rick James didn't know whether to hug him or put his dukes up.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but they never
Oh,
won a
wow.
Grammy. So let's just see. That's just
Yeah.
hard. They were nominated for one, 87 for Rock Steady,
Mhm.
but they didn't win that year. So I'd like to know who won in 87. So somebody out there, find out who won the R&B performance by duo or group in 1987. Find out who won and beat out Rock Steady. In the meantime, CJ Flash, keep that music going.
I'm in the mood for romance, so I just have to take this chance. Celebrate the things we've grown to love about each other. Here's looking at you, 'cause it still feels brand new. This love we found, there's not a thing I wouldn't do to keep your love around. I wanna keep.
So what that?
Yeah. Who did that? What's that? I mean, how long ago was that? What year was that recorded?
That was like 80.
That's 83. That's
Was
on
it
the
83?
It's on the Keep on Loving Me.
85.
Wow, I never.
That's Leon.
That's
a different
Leon.
sound.
Yeah.
Leon, he produced that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What?
Okay.
What's because that's scary. That keyboard thing was kind of out there.
Mm.
Yeah. Where was you at?
Yeah, I wasn't around.
Not for that.
I
Oh.
don't know. I mean, I wasn't. That wasn't. Yeah, that. You sure that was Leon? Wow.
All right. It's from that Silver Spoons camp.
Okay. Yeah. Now that's a different story right there.
Mm.
But still, it got to get past Leon's ears. So he approved it. Yeah. So
what is Silver Spoons? What's that?
That's Leon's production company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah. So yes, Silver Spoon Productions.
Mm-hmm.
That's I have
different.
I have. Oh my goodness gracious! It started out every 3 years. I would have a celebration. We get together every 3 years. Then people started dying and started doing it every 2 years. Now it's down to every 1 year. And so it's like every year, it's like, whoa, people are just leaving us, man. And it could be, everybody gets their turn. So it's sad though. It's really sad.
Yeah, this year's been tough. This year's been crazy tough, man.
Yeah, we just lost Wayne Lewis from Atlantic Star.
Yeah.
And I produced that album, the Secret Lovers album. And I got really close to Wayne and David, and we were just like laughing and giggling and hanging out and going to restaurants and just enjoying our time together as we were working on their album. And now he's gone, and he looks so good. He looked so good. He looked so well. I can't even describe, but he really looked good. And I don't know what happened, but he's gone.
Just count every day we wake up. Just count our blessings, right?
Amen.
I'm going to say amen to a couple of our folks that are listening out there. Vince Robinson gives us the answer. George Michael and Aretha Franklin won the award in 1987. And SMJ from the Bay actually named the song, I Knew You Were Waiting for Me. That was produced. Was that produced by Narada?
I think so.
Okay, so we got to shout him out here in the Bay Area, Narada Michael Walden. I Knew You Were Waiting for Me. So I'm not too mad. If he's the one that won, then I'm not mad at it. So, but it's hard. Aretha's won about 18 Grammys on the other hand. So if you go up against Aretha, it's like saying, oh, damn.
I can't believe the Whispers haven't won one.
No, sir.
Not one?
No, sir.
That's strange.
Only nominated for that one, so only nominated.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Peace and move forward. Keep it going, Flash.
Now, what other? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
What's another thing that the Grammys do? Besides giving you an award for being, the best at your song or whatever. What else they do? Don't they give you another award?
Lifetime Achievement.
Yes.
Do that. Like Diana Ross has one of those. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award for just their body of work and that kind of thing. But you would think again, in all them years, even with the Supremes, you would think that she would have won something with the Supremes or something all those years,
Yeah.
But hey.
Oh
well.
It is.
And I can't say too much because I'm part of the Grammy Foundation. So I'm gonna get to the bottom of it and I'll find out and I'll come back. Give me answers right now. Okay.
Amen.
All right, Flash, let's squeeze in some more songs and we can get this thing going again. Go.
The other slave got distracted on the way to grandmother's house. Explosion came through my mind, changed the ways, and now she's turned out, lost and turned out. Lost and turned out. She's spending most of her time walking the streets. She has a certain quota to fill. He wants to buy a new Seville. Olivia the slave got distracted.
Away.
That song right there's got so many layers to it. Were you with them at that time, Wardell?
I
Was that
was
way?
still,
Was that
I was
before
still
you?
on. Yeah, I was a little kid.
I thought maybe you were like a boy genius or something, man. I'm trying to give you credit. You were a boy genius, you know. So that song, I've always heard that the pimps did not like that song at all.
Nah.
Because that was about them rescuing Olivia from the streets and all
It
like
was
that.
snitching.
Yeah, so there was some
What?
shows that the Wizards
Snitching on
had
the
to get
game.
in and out, had to get on and off that stage when they were at some shows because of the pimps had issues that they had to address.
Yeah.
wanted to
Really? I don't.
address. Yeah.
Why? I didn't understand. What was wrong with it?
That's the best answer you should give, and you keep that's your answer. You stick with that. You don't need to know no more than that, Wardell. You don't
No,
need to know.
that's it. That's it. I guess. Okay.
Leave it right there. Leave it right there. But I popped up the Solar Records label just for you, and that's
Yes.
Olivia Lawson turned out on that particular one. So that's a great label too that they came up with. Whoever came up with the concept for that, that's a great label.
Yeah.
That's one that you can tell instantly who that is and all like that. But back to that song, man. D Minor, what you love about that song?
Olivia Lawson turned out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the vocals really just cuts through musically, and that's Scotty once again delivering the message is just profound. And I think the what really got me was the Olivia break the chain, and that right there just like wow. That I mean, if you didn't hear anything of that song, hear that part. Because that brings it on home. So an amazing song, and it was great to see him live doing that with the twins anchoring it, or with Mark or with Lavelle and Nicholas anchoring the backgrounds. Yeah,
I know that still shook up the crowd a little bit because Stephanie, SMJ from the Bay, Teresa Newsom, Kim Batiste, Gina Emerson, and Stephanie Jackson all jumped on that one as soon as he hit that one. They all were commenting on that one. So that's a favorite of a lot of people out there.
yeah. Now I have to say, oh, I'm sorry. I know you wanted to go around. Go ahead.
No,
No,
well,
go ahead.
Flash.
Go ahead.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Go ahead, man.
No, I just want to say too. I know we, a lot of times we focus on Walter and Scotty, but I also want to say Nicholas was that guy, and it was just for me. It's great to see, Nicholas up there with that beard, and, with the fro and everything like that,
Yes.
and then just his dancing, and you could tell he seemed to have just a little. He had that extra energy juice on him when he came to the stepping and everything like that, and then his smile just radiated the whole stage. You could tell he was just happy. He was there, Melvin, in my opinion, like. You could tell he was happy to be on that stage. So Nicholas was definitely the quintessential constant professional, as well as Marcus, as well as Lavelle, as well as Wallace, as well as Walter, and Grady.
Well, let me tell you. Let me just tell you a little story about Nicholas. Why he's so happy all the time.
Uh-oh.
So,
Get the lawyer ready. Let's go.
Get the lotion ready.
So Lavelle said that his story is that when they were on the road and stuff, like him and these two would always roommate together, and so and the twins would roommate together, and so one time when they were like, we're going to stay here for a few days, so let's just go get some groceries. So they go to the store to get the groceries, and so they both got their carts, and so they look at each other. He's like, "All right, man, when you go your way, I'll go my way, and I'll meet you back here. We'll take care of it." Okay, cool. And so Lavelle's like, he's like, "I'm just looking for like what is good for us, what's healthy, and I'm going through my thing and looking at all my what we got to get, and milk and this and vegetables and all that." And then he says, by the time he got finished and got all his stuff, he came back and bam, right in the middle, he looks at Nick's card. He goes, "Nick, what is that? What did you do?" And then Nick goes, "Well, you told me to go get what I wanted, So he had a basket full of wine. and he had all kind of different wines. Like, oh,
Well, you gotta have some liquids to go with your meal, you know. So.
and LaBelle was rolling. He was like, I can't believe you did this. He's like, man, what are you talking? This one, I like this one and I like this one. So I figured I'd get this and that. Maybe I add a little something. Oh, dude. I said, I can't believe it. And we were rolling, dude.
That's what I do at Thanksgiving. I'm in charge of the liquids at Thanksgiving. So I'm with you. I feel for him. I'm with him.
Oh, man.
That's a good one. All right, Flash, what you got up next, man? We're playing a lot of songs tonight, so just keep them going, man.
You say you love me, lady. Girl, I hope you do. Only you can save me. My life equals you. Kiss me, drive me crazy. Would you do that for me, lady? You say you want my baby. Girl, if that's a fact, lady, then melt into me, lady. As though we were wax. Erase all my babies. Would you do that for me, lady?
All right, Kim.
All right, now.
I think Kim is feeling that song. So,
Kim, wait
all right,
a minute.
now were you with them? You were with them on that one, then, right? So you have to tell me, Wardell, when you heard that song, you had to say, okay, this is a level above the great music we've been making, but that one's a keeper. That's good. That's a level above. You had to know the lady was hot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that song, I was like, who did that? And I found out the keyboard player was, he was responsible for that part, but Nicholas really wrote the song. And so I just thought this song is going to go a long ways, and it really did. It was just really classy. He laid it in the pocket. The story was about his wife, and I got to meet her at his funeral, and that was the first time and the last time I met her. But it's a beautiful love story.
It really is.
So thank you, Nicholas, for writing it.
Okay, now we talk about Nicholas, we talk about Lavelle, we talk about Wallace, we talk about Walter. What was Marcus like?
Marcus was a player.
If you don't stop snitching on everybody, man.
But Marcus was more of a fun kind of, like, you could tell. You could look at him in the videos. That's what he was. Oh, he was smooth with it, man. And
that's Marcus down in the front, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Lord have mercy. That dude was a handful. And I admired him because the way that he did the choreography, he didn't look like he was copying off of anybody. Like he was like Lavelle, you could see him looking at Nick a lot.
Yeah.
And because, but Marcus was he was the perfect right in the middle of them two to try to help Lavelle, not have to lean on Nicholas as much because Nicholas was the one that taught Lavelle. So that's why Lavelle kind of, he was depending on that a lot. But Marcus, man, he was something because he would do his with a different style, different flavor. And it was real sexy, like real cool. And like I was like, dude, you got it going on, man. That's it right there. So I enjoy watching him. He actually reminded me of the drummer, Tony Westcott. They had that same little light-skinned, short little guy kind of thing, real cool and real suave and stuff. And so Suave.
We know what you meant. I like the way you said that, man. We know what you meant.
And we got to shout out. We got to shout out Marcus and rest in peace. But his son actually went to Berkeley High, and he's a really prominent DJ Pretty Tone, my man. Really good dude, man. Really, yeah. So I grew up with Tone. Tone is from Berkeley, and
Nice.
he went to Berkeley High.
Nice.
Good dude, man. Really good dude.
All
Wow.
right, shout out indeed.
So is Berkeley in New York?
No, Berkeley is in California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Northern California, the
Bay
Bay Area.
At Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
up there by you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about the Berkeley School of
Berkeley
the Arts
School of
and
Music.
back east. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
back
talking
in.
Berkeley School.
Berkeley,
that's-
California. He grew up in.
That one's in Massachusetts or something like that. The Berkeley School of
Yeah.
Arts or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So, okay. All right.
All right. Hang
All
in there.
right.
We wrapping it up. So because he's starting to.
Man, you know, it's I'm 2 hours ahead of y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it's okay. We almost done. I can see
I'm an old man.
you squirming in your seat. I can see it.
Seasoned.
There's a
Nothing
couple of
old about
songs-
you, brother.
A
Seasoned.
couple of
Yeah.
songs that you got to get in, Flash. And you know what I know. You know what they are.
You know what I know.
Whatever you got to do, get them in.
All right.
Couple songs gotta get in there.
Okay, well, let me get this one in because I feel this is necessary.
People speak your name and think what a shame you gone. Still they know what you left behind lives in our hearts and minds today. Tomorrow, the clouds of darkness came your way. You've given us a brighter day, and your music will be so very, very special to me.
Big
Wow.
fans of Donny Hathaway. That's a beautiful song.
Mhm.
Beautiful song.
Oh, what a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad and beautiful at the same time because I'm thinking of Walter. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's so sad. But
There's
he
not
lived
much more
a
to say.
wonderful life.
Yes,
lived
he
a
did. Yes, he did.
Wonderful life. I mean,
That's the
you
thing.
know, we should celebrate his life and then just say, you know what, the brother. I mean, he did so well, and I'm so proud of him. He could have just, did the army thing, went and had kids and got big, and been gone a long time ago. But he worked really hard at his craft, and he did very well at it. So, hats off to you, Walter. Thank you so much for blessing all of us and blessing the world with your gifts. And we have people
Yes.
overseas that are just crazy about the Whispers, and they just love their music, man. They love their music. And so, and the twins are the ones that put the Whispers together. So praise God for that, and God bless them.
Yeah. And rightfully so. And that song got some more reactions from the chat. So somebody's got nothing that's out there. Kim just loves it. Arlene just loves it. Eric Gill, same way. Love some Donny Hathaway, man.
Mhm.
Love some Donny
Yeah.
Hathaway.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Love
yes.
some Donny Hathaway.
Yes.
All right, Flash.
Mhm.
We got a few more. Just a couple more. I know what you got.
Feel much like romancing. How'd you like to wine and dine? I'd like to take you dancing. Candlelights and dinner. Would that be nice? We'll dance to sweet music. How about some Marvin Gaye? Feel like some sexual healing. Just relax and let me do things my way. This is what I do. I'm gonna make it get you in love.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember if I was married at the time this song was out before I tell a story on that song. Since I'm not sure, I'm going to say that I was married. And I was probably singing at the Sherry.
All we could see is rolling pins coming across the screen.
Yeah, I was singing at the Sherry. So I thought it was so clever that the way that as contemporary artists that they mentioned Sade, Marvin Gaye, Babyface. You know, that was just really cool to work the way they worked that in, and to make you think that the Whispers, with all the beautiful songs that they were making, were listening to other people. You know, to get them in the mood.
Yeah,
so,
right.
That's another one. When you heard it, you know who wrote that one? Was that with Nicholas again?
That's Babyface.
Yeah, that's Babyface.
Babyface? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, no wonder. But as soon as you hear the lyrics, then you say, okay, yeah, that'll work.
You know, it's funny too, Jerry and CJ, when we had Daryl Simmons on.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember him saying to us when he was here was that when he said when him and Kenny would collaborate on the songs, it was just great. It was great, and he said that they would just bounce off of each other. I think the words that Daryl Simmons would say, he's like, when he said Kenny can just look at him and come up with an idea.
Wow.
You know, and so they seem to have that you know, they were able to
chemistry.
have that yin and yang. Yeah, that chemistry. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. You know, just for them to be able to do that. And obviously it's the same thing with you, Wardell, and Leon. That chemistry.
Yes. Definitely. But this the writer that was writing with Jimmy Jam, I mean not Jimmy Jam, but Babyface, LA and Babyface, that guy, the third guy, what's his name?
Daryl Simmons.
Yeah. He was a hidden like treasure. Because he was writing some great lyrics and stuff. Yeah. Like, who is this guy? And so and they kept saying his name, but you hear only the other two, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and I think it's because of their record company. You know, but the royalties has got to be sickening for that brother.
Well, we had a nice chat with him. And by the way, you can check us out at IRTS Space Show on YouTube and go search for that show with Daryl Simmons.
Great show.
And he made it very clear that he was very happy to be in the background. And he could care less. I'll tell you a quick story about Daryl Simmons. I told this when we did the show a couple of years ago. I was in radio at the time, and Babyface and this guy came in to the studio. And so what always would happen is I had musicians would come in, I would give them DVDs at the time, and actors would come in, I would give them CDs. So I'm looking at these guys, say, hey, you guys you're on the road a lot, you get a chance to watch some DVDs, you don't want to get some? And their eyes lit up to, yeah. So the guy comes to my office, I'm on a floor below. So we're walking down to my office, and I said, so are you in the band? You know, yeah, sometimes, you know. So what do? You play, you sing? Well, you know, a little bit. I said, well, what's your name? He said, I'm Daryl Simmons. I'm like, like L.A. Reid, Babyface, and Daryl Simmons. That Daryl Simmons? He said, yeah, man. I said, bro, what you He said, no, I just like it that way, man. I don't care if anybody knows me. You know, I'm just happy. These two guys are the face, no pun intended, and I'm cool, you know. So we did a great show, and he told some great stories about how they made that music, and they got a ton of hits, you know, as you know. A ton of hits.
Yes.
All right, so CJ, we get that one more?
You got one more, brother.
Okay, then let's do this. Let's say thank you to Wardell. Wardell, what we'd like to do is go around the horn real quickly and say thank you for joining us. And I apologize for the beginning of the show because Russell Gatewood, who is a big part of our show, for whatever reason, StreamYard was not cooperating tonight. I couldn't get him to join in, and so if he'd been in here, you'd had a whole much more questions, a lot more explaining to do about the ashiness and the and all the other things that you told on people allegedly for his lawyers in case somebody wants to come after me. It's all alleged. So D Minor, thank you for getting your brother on here. So tell us what you want to tell him.
Wardell, thank you so much for just all that you've given us, whether it be with the Dynasty, the Silvers, the Whispers, Shalimar stuff, even your current, even your new single that's coming. I want to say thank you for just being music and really being able to usher in that sound that we needed from Solar Sounds of Los Angeles. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for just being here. And you're a great storyteller too. So
I love the story.
you know, now I got to go and look for some lotion. So make sure I you know, because I ain't trying to be out here looking at you. You know, okay?
I'm telling you.
Find out about it on the national program like that, man. So, all right, Flash, you're up.
I've known you through your music for quite some time, man, and I really appreciate all that you've done and all that you continue to do. And you might want to hit up Jergens to get them to sponsor your show. You know, just on the strength, you know, for real, because you know, ashy is a horrible thing. You don't want nobody to be ashy, so Jergens might be able to give you some kind of sponsorship. Anyway, thank you so very much, man. And the music is just from one drummer to another. The stuff that you've laid down over the years is absolutely phenomenal. And the baddest drummers to me always have been able to play jazz and then do R&B, because there's a fluidity in their playing when you're able to do it both ways. It's absolutely phenomenal. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
David
Michael
Eller, who's
Walden. Ooh.
Yeah.
Murata Michael Walden. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Murata, Dennis Chambers. You go down the list, there's so many cats that do it very well, man. And
Very
you know,
good.
they've been able to make their transition from jazz to R&B, or you know, at least they have some jazz chops. Harvey Mason Jr., Harvey Mason Sr. rather. He's another cat. You know,
Yes.
It's endless.
And we played on a lot of records. He would be in the studio, and so when we're coming into the studio, and they say, so do you want us to leave these drums up, or you want to put your drums up? And I said, well, I really want my drums. Whose drums are those? They said Harvey Mason. I go, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go see. So what's happening is that we always rented drums. Like they were like a lot of the studio guys. They say, yeah, I need this set, you know, 5-piece, 8-piece, whatever the case is.
Right.
And so they leave their drums there. Right. And so it's not their drum per se.
Right.
It's just a set that they used. And the same thing on stage, the same thing we do on stage.
Yeah.
So and so when they said Harvey Mason, man, I was so young and so naive. Same thing with Earth, Wind and Fire. I did the same thing. And I was like, who's drums? Earth, Wind and Fire? Man, I was like, oh, let me figure this out. Let me see. And I go and play it. I go, you know, I could use this here. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's
yes. Lenny White too.
Lenny White as well. Right on air.
Oh,
so
that's
many.
my guy. Lenny White.
Oh, Lenny is your guy. Get out of here. So I idolized him as a child because of Return to Forever. Stanley Clark was in Return to Forever. Yep.
So every time they performed in Philadelphia, my friend, bass player Ruben Edwards, and I were at the show on the front row, looking and listening. Oh my God!
Yeah.
I want to interview him so bad. That dude, man. I love Lenny White. So he helped to make me a disciplined drummer.
Okay.
Because he knows how to fill it up.
Yes.
And bring it down.
Yes.
All in the same motion, man. And it's like, you know, some drummers are just really loud and they're just loud. And some just, you know, they play a certain kind of stuff.
Nuances,
but Lenny White was just amazing, man.
Yeah.
And so, and still is.
Yeah. That Red Clay album with Freddie Hubbard. Lenny White is all.
Come on.
Oh,
come on.
I'm gonna tie something together. We talked about the Grammys earlier. Harvey Mason Jr., Harvey's son, president of the Grammy board, the Grammy Association. So,
Harvey Mason Jr.
Mason Jr.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, my turn.
That's
And
right,
I
your
just,
turn.
Your turn.
all right, so
Your turn.
I just want to let me get my close up. Hold on.
Oh. Go
I'll see
ahead.
you, Ash, so you good, brother.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
nothing there. That's good. Manicure and everything.
All right. There you go. Good job.
Wardell, I want to thank you very much, brother. I mean, you really, really, really added to this show. D Minor, again, I love you for that, bro, because he told me that you would be a great guest and you definitely were. The stories were amazing. Your energy is amazing. I'm going to support your show, and I'm glad that you're supporting ours. So we can get phone numbers and talk offline, and I can help you get some of your guests and some ideas that have been working for us. We've been doing this for like 6-7 years now. So know a little bit about it.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So definitely be able to help you out and just appreciate your memories and the thoughts and everything that you've had. And it's been a lot of fun talking to you and getting to know you a little bit.
You got to come back sometime, man.
Yes, you do.
Hey,
Okay.
amen, guys. Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
All right, so that's going to wrap up another episode of IRTS Live. Again, if you didn't see all of this show or you missed it, just want to catch it all over again, check us out on YouTube at IRTS space show. Hit subscribe. It's free. You can see this show and every other show that we've done over the last 5 or 6 years, including the ones that we talked about tonight with Dave Garbali from Tower Power, Dennis Chambers, John Paris. We talked about all these other people. We did another show on Solar Records, the history of Solar Records. So that's a lot of stuff to go back there. And, if you're binge watching over the weekend or something like that, check us out. So we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock for another show. CJ Flash, take us home.
Big shout out to David Elder. I see you, brother.
Can't wait till the sun goes down. I've been wanting to hold you. Counting the minutes, you're not around. That's what's getting me through the day. Every thought that comes into my mind is always centered around you.
IRTS Live is created and hosted by Jerry Dove and is joined by a team of the industry's finest. Music director CJ Flash, Ryan Nicole, Big Russ, and D Minor. IRTS Live is brought to you by Lifelong Medical Care, providing high-quality care with compassion. Call them at 510-549-5454 or visit lifelongmedical.org. And by C-Dove HR Consulting Group, providing personalized service for building a better tomorrow. Enjoy the difference. Check out gdovedesigns.com for hoodies and t-shirts that make a statement. And be sure to get the new IRTS Live coffee mug. Join CJ Flash for the feel-good music for the people experience. Live Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. and Fridays from 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Watch and listen to him on TikTok and Mixcloud. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email us at info@irtsshow.com.